it's Jessie here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. For today's video, we are going to be talking all about the budget for my husband's fourth paycheck in the month of March, as well as my paycheck from Google AdSense that I earned through my YouTube videos. So if you are interested in seeing what we are going to do with that money, you're in the right place. Just keep on watching. So I have you opened up here to my March calendar page in my budget by paycheck workbook, and we are going to be talking about the bills we're going to pay with these two paychecks. I'm just going to combine them just for the sake of ease. My YouTube income is pretty small, so it's not going to make a huge difference in our budget, but that's okay. So I just indicate the paycheck that we are using in highlighter, and I'm using this zebra mild liner in the color violet. And then I'm just going to go ahead and highlight all of the bills I'm going to pay with these paychecks, and that's actually going to be the rest of the bills on the page. So we are going to pay our lot rent, our water, our cable, and our Audible, and that takes care of all of the bills in March. Everything has been highlighted, and that means that this last paycheck here in March is going to be pretty much free to do with what I please. I can pay bills ahead of time if I want, or I can put extra into savings or debt. We'll deal with that when the time comes, but for now, let's go ahead and write in the budget for this fourth week in March. So let me just flip to a fresh paycheck bill tracker here. My hair on it, excuse that. And I'm just gonna start writing this up. So this is for my husband's paycheck number 4, which he receives on the 23rd of March. So this is March 22nd and 23rd, because I received my YouTube income on the 22nd. Typically, AdSense pays out on the 21st, but the 21st was a Sunday, so it was delayed by just a day, which is fine. So in terms of disclosing income, I don't talk about my husband's income because he would prefer to keep that private, but that would be his paycheck number 4. I'm just not going to write in a total, but I do talk about my income just because without you all watching my videos, clicking on the ads, leaving me comments, clicking the like button, that sort of thing, I would not have this income. This is the amount of money I earned on YouTube throughout the month of February, actually, from all of the ads that you guys see on my videos. YouTube pays through Google AdSense. They pay a month behind, so all of the money that I earned in February gets paid out at the end of March. I did receive that paycheck. I need to look at my little cheat sheet here and figure out exactly how much it was. It was $367.12. So thank you all so much for watching my videos. You brought an extra $367 to our budget for the week, and that is awesome. I feel truly blessed for that, so thank you, thank you, thank you. So we are going to use that income as well as my husband's income to budget for the week. And let's just get started by talking about this bills category. So if you've never watched one of my budgeting videos, you might be confused, but I'm actually going to put grocery here under bills. Now, no, groceries are not technically considered a bill, right? But I use this bills category to list out anything that I pay using my checking account. We do a lot of our budgeting in cash. You will see me pull out quite a bit of cash for this budget, but there are some things that we use our checking account for, and groceries is one of them. I use the Walmart pickup service to do all of my groceries. It is a great way to get the groceries I need without having to go into a store and risk that dreaded impulse shopping. I can go on the Walmart app, choose exactly what I need for the week, check out, pay with my checking account, my debit card, go pick up the groceries. I don't have to go into a store. It's phenomenal. If you guys haven't tried out this Walmart pickup service before and you would like to, I do have a link in my description box where you can take $10 off your first order of $50 or more. And if you use my link, I will get $10 off a future grocery order as well. So we both win. There's nothing to lose. Definitely try out the grocery pickup if you have not done so already, because it's a phenomenal service. But for my groceries for my family of 4, I budget $150 a week. This is for my family of 4. Like I said, we are living in Southeast Michigan. It's myself, my husband, and 2 very hungry boys who are 18 and 13. So that is what is required to keep us fed for the week. So that's my grocery budget. And now we're going to write out those bills we talked about. So the first is lot rent. And if you're not familiar, my husband and I own our mobile home outright. We paid off our mortgage last spring, and that was a huge celebration for us, a big deal. But while we own our home, we don't own the lot that it sits on, so we do rent that from a mobile home community or a trailer park, however you want to say it. And we pay $527 a month for that. Long term, we don't want to stay in this mobile home community. One day we would very much like to buy our own land and either move our current home onto it or build a new home, but for now we're renting. It's working okay for us, at least in the short term. We're trying to get our debt paid off, and then we can think about what our next living situation is going to be. In addition to lot rent, we're also going to pay our water bill, which we are budgeting $50 for. We have our cable. This is cable TV and internet. We have a package through our mobile home community that is super affordable. We budget $65 a month, and that gives us high-speed internet as well as cable TV. And that's actually less than we were paying for high-speed internet on its own before they offered us this package. So it was a great deal, and of course we jumped on it. And lastly, we have Audible, which is my husband's audiobook subscription. And for that, we are going to budget $15. So that is it for the bills that we are going to tackle with this income from this week. So I'm just going to add these budgeted amounts up. We have $150 plus $527 plus $50 plus $65 plus $15 for a total of $807 in bills this week. So that takes care of that. Next, we're going to move on to cash envelopes. So as I said, we do quite a bit of our weekly budget in cash. The cash envelopes are the cash that we pull out of the bank and expect that we will spend this week. This is essentially like our variable expenses, and we like to do those in cash. So for my cash envelope categories, I have my husband's spending. I give him cash at the start of every single week, and that is his to do with whatever he pleases. When we first started our budgeting journey, I was trying to keep track of his spending by having him bring home receipts and trying to keep him sticking to a budget that way, and it was just way too complicated. So instead, we sat down and discussed how much he needed every week to feel comfortable, for him to just spend on whatever he wants, whether it be, a cup of coffee or a t-shirt, or maybe he wants to buy himself something nice, whatever it is. We decided he wanted $40 every week to feel comfortable with our whole budgeting process. So that is what I give him. I give him $40 at the start of every week to do with whatever he pleases. I don't ask for receipts. I don't need to know what he spent his money on, and I don't ever expect him to bring me change. And that works out really, really well for us. Next up is my spending, and likewise, I get $40 to do with whatever I please. I can take that $40 and I can throw it out the window if that's what I want to do with it, as long as I don't come back then and request more money from our budget. You know what I'm saying? So that works out great for us. Next up, I have my oldest son, Robert. He is going to get $20. He drives my youngest son to school every day. Robert is 18. He's an adult still living here at home. And he just one day offered to take Austin to school on a daily basis. Austin could ride the bus, but he prefers not to in the mornings. It's a crowded bus, and especially in the wintertime, it's really cold standing out waiting for the bus. So Robert takes him to school every morning. It gives them an opportunity to spend some time together, and it's a win-win for everyone. So I give him $20 a week to help compensate for the gas that he spends driving Austin to school. So that takes care of Robert. Next we have Austin. That's my 13-year-old son, and he gets $20 a week in allowance. Next up I have gas. This is gas for my car. I budget $40 a week. That's about what it takes to fill my Subaru Forester from empty, with gas prices being what they are right now. So that's what I budget each week. Next is eating out. We are currently budgeting $25 for eating out each week. That's enough to get my family a pizza or to take us through a drive-through. It's not really enough for us to do a fancy meal out, but it's enough to just, you know, do some quick takeout if we need it. So that's $25 for that. And lastly, for my cash envelopes, I have miscellaneous. So this miscellaneous category is sort of a catch-all for anything else that comes up throughout the week that I didn't anticipate and budget for. It acts as sort of a buffer and allows us to have a little bit of extra money on hand in case we need it, so that we don't have to swipe a credit card. For that, we're budgeting $25 as well. So I'm going to add up these budgeted amounts here. We have 40 plus 40 plus 20 plus 20 plus 40 plus 25 plus 25 for a total of $210. So I will pull this $210 out of the bank and stuff it into our cash envelopes. That will be a separate video. But then at the end of the week, if we don't spend all of this money, anything that's left over gets made as an extra debt payment. So we always budget for, like, the worst case scenario. This is the most we will spend, but if we don't spend it all, then we have an extra debt payment, and that works out fine for us. Next up, we have sinking funds. If you're not familiar with sinking funds, these are essentially little mini savings accounts for things that you know are coming throughout the year. So it's different from this extra savings category in that, at least for me, this extra savings is cash that we are just sticking away for a rainy day. Sinking funds are more targeted savings for things like annual payments for things like Christmas that comes once a year. We like to set aside a little bit of money throughout the year, here and there, so that it's not such a big hit to our budget when it rolls around, right? So if we waited until December to do our Christmas shopping, we would have to scramble and come up with $1,000 to be able to do all of our Christmas shopping. Whereas if we just stick aside $20 or $30 here and there throughout the year, it slowly adds up. We barely miss it, but then we have it when we need it. So I have nearly 20 sinking funds, I believe. But I don't add money to all of my sinking funds every week. I just kind of pick and choose which sinking funds to add to each week based on what our goals are for that week, how much income my husband brought in, because he is paid based on commission, so he doesn't have a super regular income. He does get paid regularly on a weekly basis, but the amount fluctuates. So this week, we are only adding to a couple sinking funds. First up is my household sinking fund, and that is going to get $20. The reason we're only adding to a couple sinking funds this week is because last week we added a ton of money to sinking funds. Between my husband's paycheck and the stimulus check, we had quite a bit of money getting stuffed into sinking funds, so we don't need to concentrate on sinking funds quite as much this week. So the household is going to get 20, Pets is going to get 20 as well, and then the only other fund that we are adding to is my YouTube taxes. So I told you guys that YouTube paid me $367.12 through Google AdSense. That is an amazing amount of money. I'm so happy with that, but they don't withhold taxes, so I need to withhold taxes from that myself. And the way that I do it is I take 30% of this income and I just stick it in an envelope so that when it comes time to file my taxes, I have that should I need it. 30% is probably more than I need, but I don't want to get myself in a situation where it comes time to file my taxes and I don't have enough to pay what I owe. So I would rather withhold more and hold on to it and have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So I will take this $367.12 that I earned and multiply it by 30%, and 30% of that is $110 and some change. I always just round up to the next dollar, so I'm going to withhold $111, and I'm just going to pull that out of the bank because this paycheck was direct deposited, and I'll stick it in my YouTube taxes envelope so that I have it when I need it. So that's it for sinking funds for the week. So we'll add these totals up. 20 plus 20 plus 111 is $151 into sinking funds this week. Next up, we have my extra debt, and you can see I've already filled in this number here for my debt snowball. I did that because our debt snowball recently has changed and gone up, and I didn't want to forget what the new amount was, so I just wrote it in right away. If you watched my debt snowball update or my stimulus budget videos from last week, you would know that we paid off the card that we were working on. Our Amazon card is 100% paid off, and so we moved on now to a new card, which is our Lowe's card. We like to make progress on our debt on a weekly basis, so we aim to send at least $233 to our Lowe's card every single week. Now, it may be more than that. If we don't spend all of our cash envelope money, we might pay extra to that, or if we have extra money for whatever reason, that will go to our debt snowball as well, but this $233 is like the minimum that we aim to send. So that is what I have budgeted. And lastly, I have our extra savings. So as I mentioned, extra savings, these are my savings challenges, money that I am just setting aside for a rainy day. I have quite a few savings challenges that I've been participating in throughout 2021, as well as just a savings challenge I've been participating in just for March. So we are not going to be saving a ton of money this week, but a little bit. So the first one is our 52-week savings challenge, which I will go ahead and show you here. I have all of my savings challenge printables here in the back of my Franken planner. So I have Savopoly. So actually I guess we'll talk about Savopoly first, since that's the first one here. At the start of the month, I sat down and rolled the dice for each week in the month of March and went around the board. For Savopoly, you roll a dice, you go around the board, and the property that you land on correlates with how much money you will save that week. So for Savopoly, for this paycheck for the 23rd, I landed on a space worth $10. So that's how much we're going to save for Savopoly. For our 52-week savings challenge, the way that this one works is I just go in every week and choose a random square and save that much money. If at the end of the 52 weeks I've filled in all of these squares, I will have saved $1,000. So for this week, we are going to save $7. That is the square that I chose, so I'm just going to color it in so that I know I've saved that amount and I don't try to choose that square again for an upcoming week. So we're going to save $7 for the 52-week savings challenge. Another savings challenge I'm participating in is this playing card savings challenge. This is a savings challenge that I actually created myself. If you want more information on this savings challenge and how it works, you can watch my savings challenge video. And if you would like to participate in this savings challenge yourself, you can join my Facebook group. It's the Jwhackers Fans and Friends Facebook group, and you can get this printable there for free in the file section, so you can complete this savings challenge yourself. But for this week, for this savings challenge, I'm saving $13. So let's go ahead and write those amounts in here in my bill tracker. So for the 52-week savings challenge, we said we were saving $7. For Savopoly, we are saving $10. The card savings challenge was $13. And then the only other savings challenge I have right now is not really a savings challenge at all. It's really more like a sinking fund, but I put it here in this extra savings category because I have the envelope for that savings, or for that fund rather, in my extra savings section of my accordion folder, and it's just easier to remember that way. And that is my Switch savings. So I bought myself a Nintendo Switch last month or early this month, and since then I've been saving little bits of money here and there for Nintendo Switch games and accessories. My Nintendo Switch savings is going to get $10 this week, and if I add all of these items up, 7 plus 10 plus 13 plus 10, it's a total of $40 in extra savings this week. So that is it, you guys. That is a look at my plan for all of the money that we are bringing in this fourth week of March. You don't see a rollover amount here, but we will be rolling some money from my husband's paycheck over into the next week. I don't write in my rollover amounts because it would be way too easy then to just add up all of these totals and figure out exactly how much my husband earned, and that kind of defeats the purpose of not sharing his income. So this technically is not a zero-based budget. We do a zero-based budget by having a rollover category. I just don't include that here for the sake of privacy reasons. I hope that that makes sense. I never really explain that in my videos, but that is how we do it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please take a minute and give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I post new budgeting and lifestyle content here on my channel every single week. You'll definitely want to come back for my cash envelope stuffing for this budget, as well as all of my other fun videos. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!